Last question.
Hi, the gentleman before me must have read my mind because my question is also about that book. But I'm a student of political science and African history at Northwestern, so very excited for the new book, but I did read China's Second Continent. And I'm wondering if you think that perhaps Nkrumah-esque Pan-African ideologies, whether that be through the African Union, can be a method of resisting, if necessary, the great power competition between China and the US and the geopolitics occurring there.
So I don't really think there's a great power competition for Africa. I mean, I really don't. I think that China remains engaged with Africa in important ways, but that China's economic commitments to Africa have peaked. I don't think China's going to go away, but I think the period of hot romance is over, and China is, had a long, extended period of learning about how they can make money and where the best risks are, and after their initial exuberance, they are being, more sort of careful about things. And the United States is essentially sees Africa much in the ways that I described earlier, like as a humanitarian story, although humanitarianism is not a big thing in Washington anymore. A place to contain diseases, that remains a big item, and a place where, you got to watch out, there could be terrorists. So this is pretty much the extent of the geopolitical interest of the United States in Africa as best I can detect. The economic interest in Africa is one of resource extraction, and the United States, for the most part, is limited, has largely been limited over the last 25 years or so to oil and gas, and has woken up belatedly to the notion that China has prospected rare minerals throughout the continent to an extent that gives it a competitive advantage vis-a-vis the United States, and so the United States is scrambling to figure out how it can get back in the game in terms of minerals. But a great power competition for Africa, I don't really think that's where we are. Where I think we are is that African countries have to return to Nkrumah's idea of looking to each other as their principal resource, looking to connections with the broader black world as their principal lobby, and figuring out ways to understand to reap the benefits of valorizing themselves, as opposed to waiting for the day when something's going to come over the horizon from far away and deliver some beautiful package that's going to, grant salvation or uplift. I don't think that's happening. I don't think it's coming.
Thank you.
Well, if you all join me in giving a warm thank you to Howard French for this enlightening conversation.
But